Hey there, amazing English learners. Welcome back to Master English Podcast, the place where you get the motivation, tools, and confidence to speak English like a pro. Now, let me ask you something. Have you ever had a moment where you wanted to speak in English, but suddenly your mind just went blank? Maybe your heart started racing, your palms got sweaty, and you thought, what if I make a mistake? What if people don't understand me? Trust me, you're not alone. Every English learner, yes, even native speakers sometimes, has felt this fear, and let's be real, that fear can hold you back from amazing opportunities, meeting new people, traveling, or even landing your dream job. But here's the good news. Fear is not permanent, and today we're going to kick it out the door. In this episode, we'll dive deep into why we feel afraid to speak English, and more importantly, how to overcome that fear for good. I'll be sharing simple mindset shifts to help you stop overthinking, practical exercises to boost your confidence instantly, real-life tips from English learners who have conquered their fear. So, whether you're at home, commuting, or just relaxing with a cup of tea, get ready to transform the way you speak English. This episode is packed with energy, inspiration, and powerful techniques to help you speak with confidence. No more fear, no more hesitation. All right, are you ready? Let's do this.
Welcome to today's special podcast on overcoming the fear of speaking English. Whether you're a beginner or someone who's been speaking English for a while but still feels that nervousness creeping in, we've got a lot to talk about. By the end of this, you'll feel more confident and ready to take on speaking English in any situation.
Yes, and we're not just going to talk theory here. We're going to give you practical tips, share real stories, and give you some actionable steps to help you speak with confidence. So whether you're speaking at work, in class, or just trying to communicate with others in English, this episode is for you.
Let's dive into it. The first thing we need to address is why speaking English can be so intimidating for so many people.
Exactly. So many of us are afraid of making mistakes. It's not just about knowing the right words. It's about how we feel when we're about to speak. There's this fear of judgment, fear of embarrassment, or even a fear of not being understood.
That's such a big part of it. And here's the thing. When you're afraid, it actually makes things worse. You get nervous, your heart races, your mind goes blank, and then you're even more scared to speak.
It becomes a vicious cycle. The more we avoid speaking because we're afraid, the less we practice, and the less we practice, the more nervous we become. It's a tough loop.
But it's important to realize that fear is a natural part of learning anything new. Everyone, even the most fluent speakers, had to face this fear at some point. What matters is how you deal with it.
Exactly. So let's start with some strategies to break that cycle. The first thing we recommend is changing your mindset.
Another great tip is to expose yourself to English in smaller, more digestible ways. Sometimes when we feel overwhelmed, we just freeze and don't do anything. But if you start by listening to English podcasts, watching shows, or reading articles, even just for 10 minutes a day, you're going to feel more comfortable.
And along with that, it's helpful to remember that language is meant to be spoken. It's meant to be practiced. Every time you speak, whether it's perfect or not, you're improving. You're learning.
Another thing I'd recommend is practicing with a friend, or better yet, finding a language partner. If you're practicing alone, it can feel daunting. But practicing with someone else, whether they're a beginner like you or fluent, can make a huge difference.
Totally. Having someone else to talk to creates a safe space where you can make mistakes without feeling judged. It's about building a comfortable environment where the goal is to communicate, not be perfect.
Right. And when it comes to making mistakes, embrace them. Mistakes are not failures. They're opportunities to learn. Don't let fear of making mistakes stop you from speaking.
And that's something I struggled with for a while. When I first started learning English, I was so focused on saying everything perfectly that I avoided speaking altogether. But once I shifted my perspective, I realized I was learning so much faster by actually speaking, even if I didn't say everything perfectly.
Exactly. And over time, those small mistakes will turn into fewer mistakes as you get more comfortable. So don't be afraid to speak, even if you're unsure. People are more understanding than you might think.
That brings us to another important point. The way you think about mistakes can affect how you speak. Instead of saying, I'm bad at English, try saying, I'm still learning and improving.
It's a simple shift in mindset, but it makes a world of difference. The more positive and patient you are with yourself, the more you'll enjoy the process.
Let's talk about one other technique that really helps people with fear: visualization. This is something athletes use, and it works for language learners too.
Yes, visualization can be incredibly powerful. Before you speak, take a moment to close your eyes and imagine yourself having a smooth conversation in English. Picture yourself feeling confident, your words flowing easily, and the person you're speaking with understanding you clearly.
It's about programming your mind to feel confident before you even speak. The more you visualize it, the more likely it will happen in real life. It sounds a bit like mental training, but it's proven to work.
That's a great point. Now, let's dive into some practical everyday activities that you can do to help build confidence and improve your speaking skills.
One of my personal favorites is shadowing. Shadowing is when you listen to someone speaking English and then you immediately repeat what they're saying. You match their tone, rhythm, and pronunciation. This helps you get used to how English sounds and feel more confident with how you speak.
It's a great technique for pronunciation, too. You might feel a little silly at first, but it's a fantastic way to train your brain to sound more natural.
Another great way is to record yourself speaking. It can be really uncomfortable at first, but recording yourself and then listening back helps you pinpoint areas where you can improve. Plus, you'll be surprised at how much better you sound than you think.
I've done that too. At first, I hated hearing my voice, but over time it helped me notice patterns, like when I was speaking too fast or mumbling words. It's a valuable tool for self-improvement.
Absolutely. Now, as we approach the final part of our conversation, let's talk about real-world application. When you go out into the world and have opportunities to speak English, don't hesitate. Whether it's ordering food at a restaurant, making small talk with a colleague, or asking for directions, use every chance as a practice moment.
Exactly. Each interaction is an opportunity to improve. The more you practice in real-world settings, the more you'll realize how much you can do and how much you've grown.
And if you make a mistake, it's okay. People aren't going to judge you as harshly as you might think. In fact, they'll probably appreciate that you're making the effort to communicate.
Right, and most people will be happy to help if you don't understand something. Don't be afraid to ask for clarification if needed. People are generally very understanding when you're learning a new language.
And that leads us to one last tip: stay consistent. Confidence comes with time and practice, so keep showing up. Even if you're not perfect, keep pushing yourself to practice every day, even if it's just for a few minutes.
That's the key: consistency. Over time, you'll be amazed at how much more comfortable and confident you'll feel speaking in English.
Remember, this journey is about progress, not perfection. The more you embrace that mindset, the easier it will be to speak with confidence.
So, we hope you found today's podcast helpful. We've covered a lot of ground, from changing your mindset to practical speaking tips, and we're confident that with some practice, you'll be speaking English confidently in no time.
Thanks so much for tuning in, and don't forget to keep practicing. The more you speak, the more confident you'll become.
Take care, everyone, and until next time, keep speaking up and keep pushing yourself to grow.
And there you have it, my awesome English learners. We've talked about overcoming fear, building confidence, and stepping out of your comfort zone. Now it's time to take action. Remember, confidence doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from practicing, making mistakes, and learning from them. Every time you speak, you're getting stronger, braver, and one step closer to fluency. So here's my challenge for you. Today, say something in English, out loud. It could be introducing yourself, ordering a coffee, or even sending a voice message to a friend. Whatever it is, just speak. If this episode helped you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with a friend who needs a confidence boost. And hey, I'd love to hear from you. Send me a message or leave a comment telling me one way you're going to practice speaking this week. Make sure to follow, subscribe, and stay tuned for more episodes packed with motivation and practical tips to help you speak English with confidence. Until next time, keep practicing, keep believing in yourself, and as always, keep speaking.